As director of the MSTC program, it's both my honor and pleasure to welcome you. This is our 20th graduation ceremonies. Class of 2016, we are here to honor you and celebrate with you. Everyone in this room is celebrating not only your success, but their success in helping you be here at this moment. So I want to first begin with acknowledging them, and I'm going to ask some members of the family to stand and keep standing if you would till I've called out the three categories I'm going to use. First, let's begin. If you're a child of one of these graduates, would you please stand? All right. Spouses and significant others, please stand with them. And parents in the room, please join them. Finally, friends and family. As you know, the MSTC faculty is the heart and soul of the program. They volunteered to teach you, and they have loved teaching you, and they're the strongest asset we have in the program. So, graduates, I give you a chance to honor them. They are sort of quiet and they're kind of hidden around the room, but they made this happen. I would like Team MSTC to stand up. Where are you? Hey. Many of you participated in our recruiting efforts this year, and we called you MSTC ambassadors. That was invaluable to our recruiting effort. You have credibility far beyond what we on the staff have, and I would like you to stand if you would. The MSTC program has become the premier entrepreneurship program at McCombs. We have participated for the last 5 years in the Texas Venture Labs investment competition. We have won it 4 of the last 5 years, and this year you came close to a sweep, and I want to honor you. First place this year went to Quick Plan Solutions. Would you please stand? Third place went to Mednoxa. Unmanned Applications won the Veterans Award. Would you please stand? The Wells Fargo Clean Energy Award went to Texas Guadalupe. There are 2 elevator pitches that take place concurrently with the Venture Labs investment competition. We won both of those. Ariel King, Eric Frey. We came really close to having 4 finalists, and I want to acknowledge 2 teams that were first runner-up in their division, Solar Shield and Unmanned Applications. Would you please stand? Several of our teams are actually launching their ventures. Sometimes I don't know who all of you are. I know who some of you are, but those who are willing to declare it publicly, would you please stand? What an incredible performance you put on at Venture Labs. The incoming class was duly impressed, and they aspire to come close to doing as well as you did. So, a job well done. It's now my privilege to introduce our new dean, Jay Hartzell. Jay?
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here this morning, and I got past the hard part, which is walking up the steps in my robe. I have this fear of being the new dean spread out, but luckily that didn't happen. I'll see if I can get down the steps. So thank you, Dr. Cadenhead. First, I'd like to congratulate all of the MSTC graduate candidates. Job well done. I will give you the big picture of the school's perspective. This is a program about which we're very proud. 20 years is great. It's a trophy asset to us. We brag about you and the program all the time. So job well done, congratulations. You should feel good about the journey you've been through. We all know graduate school is a bit of a grind, and you've managed to make it work. So as Dean of the McCombs School of Business, it's my honor and pleasure to join the parents, relatives, and friends of this 2016 class of the MSTC program for this commencement celebration. During your academic pursuits, you formed strong bonds with your classmates, built trust across different personalities, and extended your network for years to come. You brought passion to your education, a passion I'm certain will translate to success in your careers and into your future. As you make your way, it's my hope that you will build upon that trust, value, and use those networks, and reinvest the passion through your continued involvement in the McCombs School. I hope you'll join the alumni network, accept a committee placement, and serve on one of our boards. There's a saying that schools and churches use sometimes to talk about people giving their time, treasure, and talent. For now, we'd love to have your time and your talent. We'll talk later about your treasure. I'd like to add my thanks to Dr. Cadenhead and thank those individuals behind the scenes for these students, parents, friends, spouses, and children. As I mentioned, graduate school can be an intense and very stressful time, and I'm sure that some of you feel as though you went through this program along with them. Students, let's take a moment again to recognize all those here today who were your support network through the program. Continuing this theme of giving back and staying involved, I want to introduce our commencement speaker today, Ms. Laura Kilcrease. Going a bit off script, I've done a few of these this weekend and have a couple more. And I mentioned to Laura, reading her bio and introduction is one that just sort of makes you feel bad. All the things she's done. I'll give you a condensed version, but it's really a pleasure to have her here today. So Laura is the founder and managing director of Triton Ventures, LLC. She founded that organization in 1999, which provides management and operational leadership to emerging technology-based spin-out companies that focus on acquiring and commercializing technology. She served as director on the boards of portfolio companies including Applied Science Fiction, Charity Gift, Exterprise, Hart InterCivic, and LN&I. Laura was one of the key participants in changing the economic landscape of Central Texas into the high-tech environment for which it's widely recognized today. From 1992 to 1997, she served as the executive director of the University of Texas's IC Squared Institute's Center for Commercialization and Enterprise, C2E, which developed commercialization strategies for universities, government laboratories, and research consortia, and R&D departments of major corporations. Laura also co-developed and launched the Austin Technology Incubator, ATI, which was one of the country's first technology business incubators designed to identify and build innovative new business models focusing on commercializing technology developed in university research. She also launched the Capital Network, one of the largest business angel investor networks in the United States with over $150 million in completed transactions, and co-founded and launched the Austin Technology Council, a premier networking organization that cultivated the growth of the Austin economy. An active member of the community, Laura has given her time and expertise to a number of nonprofit boards, including the Women's Leadership Advisory Board of Harvard University's Kennedy School, the Baster Institute, World Congress for Information Technology, among many others. More near and dear to our hearts, Laura currently serves as the entrepreneur in residence at the Herb Kelleher Center for Entrepreneurship at the McCombs School of Business, where she frequently moderates the Entrepreneurship Live speaker series. She's often been recognized for outstanding achievements and has received numerous honors and awards, including the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award, the Austin Business Journal's Profiles in Power Award, the UT McCombs School of Business Women in Business Leadership Conference Trailblazer Award. She received her certification as a chartered management accountant in the UK in 1980 and an MBA from the University of Texas at Austin in 1992. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Laura Kilcrease. Thank you very much.
Well, today is a very special day. You graduate from the McCombs School of Business with a master's degree in Science and Technology Commercialization. Many of you have taken a unique path to achieve this degree. Your families have supported your efforts, and at the beginning of this program, you probably thought that achieving a degree felt like it was going to be an eternity. But one short year later, here we are. It's much like I felt when we first embarked on designing this degree. This year is the 20th anniversary, as you've heard, of this program. Yes, an amazing 20 years. And do you know, this was the first Masters in Science and Technology Commercialization in the country. In the country. So I thought today I'd tell you a little bit about the history and draw some parallels from it. Back in 1992, the IC² Institute at the University of Texas here, that stands for Innovation, Creativity, and Capital, won a $5.4 million contract with NASA to create the best practices in commercializing their space technology. I had 2 sites at NASA where we undertook the great experiment. NASA Ames in the midst of Silicon Valley and NASA Johnson Space Center in Clear Lake near Houston. The centers could not have been more different. One in the heart of a mega entrepreneurial environment and the other located in a town that it dominated. Ames was a pure research center, while the Johnson Space Center was also an operational center in the days when astronauts had extensive training before going up into space. But in many other ways, they were very similar. Both were required by law to commercialize their research, but both locations had dedicated individuals trying to do so with little or no training or experience. It just seems such an economic waste to have hundreds of millions of dollars of sponsored research sitting on a shelf with no benefit to society. So I started talking to my colleague, Dr. George Kosmetsky, a past dean of this business school and director of the IC² Institute at that time, and I threw out the idea of needing a degree in technology commercialization. Why? 3 reasons. 1, because we needed to get practitioners the expertise to do their jobs. 2, the discipline needed to be legitimized as a degreed profession. And 3, the most important one, the economic value in terms of jobs and wealth that could be created by taking technology to market was a potential goldmine for entrepreneurs, licensees, and other innovators. In less than 3 years, we had generated 46 newly formed firms and enhanced another 33 businesses by licensing technologies from NASA. Still, how could we take so many lessons learned through experimentation and translate them into a degree program? We needed to develop a curriculum and then obtain approval from the University of Texas, the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board, and all parties need to be aligned in their concurrence that this was a necessary degree. Obtaining this concurrence was no small feat. Always innovative and determined to do the right thing, George had the connections and the influence to get the MSTC program approved at lightning speed. Yes, from start to finish and launch of the program was approximately 2 years. And in 1996, the first class of students entered the program. Can you imagine this first master's degree of science and technology commercialization in the US? It was rare, in addition to have this new degree, for it to be a 1-year graduate degree. But it was a very important degree for the learnings that would come from it. We originally envisioned a multi-location cohort system using video conferencing, online tutorials, and Lotus Notes, for those of you who remember Lotus Notes. pretty revolutionary 20 years ago. We needed these things as a method to connect everyone. Early on, the first cohort was in the Washington, D.C. area. Sounds simple again, but certain requirements are needed for a degree in Texas from the university here. Students needed free access to a library. You needed a place to hold the class. You needed a place with video conferencing. All very mundane things, but very important things. Hence, arrangements were made with the University of Virginia to accommodate this need. The following year, an additional cohort was added from Portugal into the program. So we had these multidisciplinary, multi-country teams. Soon thereafter, the University of Virginia recognized the value of this degree and approached the state of Texas and said, you in Texas are granting a degree in Virginia. We in Virginia would like to grant a degree in Texas. Well, you can only imagine the outcome of that. No further cohorts. Were we letting anyone into Texas? I don't think so. But this did not deter us from making this degree available to others. And in fact, internationalizing the program, instead, to do so, we decided to license the curriculum and undertake a train-the-trainer program in other countries. This proved to be quite successful, and in places like Poland, Portugal, and Australia, amongst many other countries, actually took on this degree, but Texas was still the first. But eventually, focus came back to home, and all efforts were once again concentrated on the Texas degree program here. Eventually, the recognition of this degree and the value it brought to the students was undeniable, and the degree moved to the McCombs School of Business. I could tell you a few more things in that transition, but not today. The first director of the program was Dr. Barbara Fossum, and including in the first faculty of that first program was Dr. Gary Cadenhead, who later became the director of the MSTC program in 2007, indeed 9 fast years ago. I must say, Gary has made a significant contribution to your success. Let's face it, Gary is a unique way of getting you hooked into this program, right? Under Gary's leadership, he's more than doubled the size in the last 9 years. He's improved the quality of learning. The program's even been recognized under his leadership by Eduversal as the annual best master's ranking in 2015/2016 as the 6th highest ranked entrepreneurial degree program amongst US schools. 6th highest, folks. But I also have to say, of course, Gary has managed to hold the annual party. Oops, I didn't say party at Southwest, did I? I mean marketing event to get you connected at South by Southwest with the latest and greatest happenings in the interactive world. Today, you join an existing group of almost 800 MSTC graduates, born or citizens from 16 countries. And I'm going to list them: Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, Colombia, India, Japan, Mexico, Nigeria, Oman, Romania, South Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, Turkmenistan, and the US. The average age entering the program for those 800 people was 33 years old. And the number of new companies, products, careers from those graduates are way too numerous to mention nor accurately record. But they've had a phenomenal impact. From this class of 2016, of the 80 of you in this class, 10% of you indeed are international. Your average age is 34, but your age ranges tremendously from the 20s on up. Now let me tell you, it doesn't matter what age you are, you now have tools to use that will make you far, far more successful as you go forward. I'm told this class is very cohesive, yet you have many different interests. We'll see what your future outcomes will be. So I want to remind you of the original goal of this degree, and that was not just to commercialize technology, but to create wealth and prosperity for your community and your family. Your ultimate goal may be measured by the well-being of you and others that you touch in life. Why did I start the speech by talking about history? Because we learn a lot from what has gone before us, and some of the lessons of that evolution of the MSTC degree can be applied to your own lives going forward. First lesson, I started the talk with I, but very quickly changed my discussion to we. I may start something, but we achieve our goals so much faster and with so much greater success than just I. In all things you do, look for your partners. Second, this degree was created by individuals who used their personal time and effort to create this program. We identified a need and found a solution that would benefit many others, not necessarily ourselves. Today, we might refer to this as civic or social entrepreneurship. The lesson to you is impact others in a positive way. Third, the MSTC degree has always been about technology, entrepreneurship, innovation. Ultimately, it's about wealth creation. Wealth fluctuates, but technology, entrepreneurship, and innovation will be a constant in your life. You have been given the tools to know how to use these to your greatest advantage. Use the tools you've been given. Fourth, today's world is not just about what you know, but also about the quality and density of your network. Remember the 79 other colleagues in your network that you've gained from being part of this program. Understand that they are more than a name. They are people with whom you share aspirations and mutual experiences. Hopefully you have earned their trust and respect. Honor this bond. And remember, you still have another 800 network nodes to call upon. By just declaring that you've accomplished your MSTC degree at UT will immediately open a door for you. Reciprocate when you're approached by other alums. Fifth and final lesson, getting this degree off the ground has its challenges. There will be bumps in the road of life. Very few things will go perfectly smoothly. But when you hit a bump, be persistent. When things go smoothly, celebrate. In summary, that I quickly becomes we with great success, which gives you the ability to positively impact others and pay it forward. Change will remain a constant in your life, and how you handle change with the tools that you have learned will be paramount to your success. Finally, may I personally offer, on May 21st, 2016, this first day of a new chapter in your life, congratulations, and say to you, make the most of everything you have been given, and remember, you are a McCombs Longhorn. What starts here changes the world.
Thank you so much, Laura. Laura is a graduate of our Executive MBA program. Both Jim and I had the privilege of teaching her in that program. And what we really like is to have our graduates be so outstanding. So we're looking for you to continue to make us proud. Stuart, you have some awards to give, or certificates?
Excuse me. All right, graduates, when I call your name, please proceed to the stage where you will be presented with a degree certificate. Jason Anderson. Robert Anspa. Luis Berga. Christopher Billick. Andrew Bosley. Stephen Philip Boyd. Jorge Brasino. Sean Burton, David Camerlingo, Tomas Antonio Caquillas, Carolyn Kokenauer, Samantha Lee Cook, Christian Crisson, Robert Duke, Wilson Dion Dunn, Paul Nicholas Ernst, Justin Felder, William Feldot, Eric Fry, Benjamin Garcia, Ernesto Gonzalez, Mark Green, Chi Gi, Chia Swan Su, Bradford Hughes, Ray Hunt, Makaran Jadov, Stacy Johnson, Brian Jansen, Shashank Concherla, Kishore Karigatam, Ariel Kane, Olu Kole James, Sai Kiran Kola, Justin Lamb, Ethan Lee, Captain Jennifer Mars, Matthew Mado, Robert McKee. Mark McKenzie. Manish Mehra. Akash Mehta. Jeremiah Mikas. Matthew Milbrandt. Farouk Muhammad. Sarav Nandi. Deborah Navarro. Nicholas Navarro. Mary O'Leary Casales. John David Ortiz. David Perry. Bao Fan. Pete Phillips. Vanessa Plugi. Shanmuka Podi. Michael Reed. Jake Rosenberg. Deb Sanders. Aderson Santos. David Scheller. Teslim Shitu. Miss Christy Smith. Florencio Diaz Solis III. Alvaro Soto. J. Roger Stanka. Christopher Storm. Glenn Sutton. Chris Talbert. Joshua Brian Taylor. Tiffany Michelle Thompson. Akinkunmi Tinubu. Heap Tran. Albert Tu. Eric Vasquez. Joe David Villasenor. Kimmy Vu. Lisa Wilmore. Eric Zabeda. Sabrina K. Zawada. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 2016 Master's Degree graduates in Technology Commercialization.
As you learned from Laura, George Kosmetsky played a very central role in the creation of the MSTC program. And each year, we award Kosmetsky Scholars to the top academic members of your class. So we will do that now. I ask that you come up individually as I call your name, and then stay up and we'll do a group picture as well. Andy Bosley. Just stay right there. David Camerlingo. Matt Mato. Farouk Mohammed. Nicholas Navarro. Mary O'Leary Casales. Vanessa Fluke. There we go. Okay, let's get the group together. Will that work? Thank you. Okay. Stuart has a moment.
Just wanted to take the mic from you for a second, Gary. This next award has been historically known as the Outstanding Student Award. However, to honor Gary, from this day moving forward, we have decided that this award will actually be known as the Gary Cadenhead Award for Outstanding Student Leadership. So with that, I will let you announce the winner.
I am honored, Stuart. Thank you. And the winner goes Christy Smith. The next award was selected by the class. The Outstanding Classmate Award goes to Deb Sanders. Okay, the next award goes to the Outstanding Professor, which you selected and which Lisa will talk about. Lisa?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lisa Chen Wilmore, and I'm here to present the Outstanding Faculty Award of 2016. But I'm going to make this short for y'all because most of you have been in class with me for the past year, and you know I have a 30-minute threshold on bathroom breaks. Which is true. But at first, I want to thank the faculty and the staff who've imparted their knowledge and the dedication they gave us this past year. They've been great mentors and teachers. Not only that, they will be our colleagues and forever friends at this point, so please give them all a hand. And of course, for all those who are here and who couldn't be here with us all today, the family and friends who've supported us through this long journey, which was, when I took this on, I didn't realize what it was like. I've made a lot of great friends and learned a lot of new lessons through this journey. So thank you to all those family and friends. And now I personally want to thank the staff for selecting me. I'm very honored to be giving out this award among my esteemed colleagues that are sitting here. So let me share with you a few stories that we have learned this year. I've learned that it's okay for our dedication and our addiction to Starbucks and Amazon and Zappos, but now we know how they do it. And next, have you ever pick up a case study or read anything about Merck or pharmaceuticals? The answer is always test and to buy. It will make money. And more importantly, if it's about obesity, America will pay anything for it. And my most important lesson will probably be before our December trip internationally. I know how to get a brand new passport, going to the embassy at 11, walking out at 12 for lunch, and picking up a brand new one at 2 o'clock. You can ask me about it later. And I also learned how to say, "Hi, I am a graduate student. I really need your help." But there are some other memories I'd like to share, and this regarding the outstanding faculty. The first memory that I do have is when I got up for one of these breaks that I had. I walked up to the door, it was the right side of the room, and my back was facing the classroom, and all of a sudden I realized the whole class had gotten quiet. Nobody was talking, and for those 3 seconds I thought, oh goodness, something's happening, but I've already touched the handlebar, I'm gonna walk through it. So I did. And then I went back to watch the video, and I realized the professor had said, let's count how many times she's gonna go to the bathroom this time, and took a marker and marked the whiteboard with a check. The next lesson that I learned was during the VLIC competitions in May. With all the competition teams across the EMBA, Executive MBA, and the MSTC teams, we cleaned house. Number one was the MSTC program, who once again took the first place. We learned about business plans, we learned how to ask the right questions, we learned how to market validate. We know to ask the right questions to get the answers we needed. And if you're gonna fail, fail it fast, quickly. But the next thing that I remember is that I do regret that I did not get to share with you a favorite song of mine and my personal rendition of how my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, because I was never late to class. But truly, the most memorable of all the lectures was the last lecture, in which we were taught, take the risk, but only when you're ready to take the risk. Everybody's timeline is different. When you embark on your journey after this, do it on your own time. Next, make good decisions. And spend less than you make. That's a long time lesson. And then you make your own journey. Write your own story from this point on. Don't let anybody tell you how to do it. But mostly, we all want to thank you, the outstanding faculty, for taking the risk and sharing your personal journey and your personal story with us, because I think we will all remember that day. So without any further ado, I would love to present the Faculty Award to Dr. Rob Adams.
We have one more surprise for you, Gary.
Uh-oh.
As you like to say, you are graduating with this class, and so we have something that we have prepared for you. And I'd like to introduce our department chair, Dr. James Fredrickson.
Thanks, Stuart. Congratulations, graduates. Of the faculty standing up here today, I have the dubious honor of being the only one that doesn't teach in this program. And the reason I'm here is because the MSTC program is in the management department, and as Stuart said, I'm a professor and chair of the management department. But we're here to celebrate the graduates, we're here to celebrate the program, and there wouldn't be either without the unique contributions of one person whose name's been mentioned, but who we want to celebrate more explicitly, and that's Gary Cadenhead. And as was mentioned to you earlier in the ceremony, this is Gary's last graduating class. This is Gary's last of 9 years as director of the MSTC program. While the program's 20 years old, Gary's led it for the last 9 years, and if the truth be told, after about a decade in the I-Ski Squared Institute, the program was struggling a bit. And from the business school, the former dean, Bob May, was put in charge of the program as the faculty director, and Bob May had the wisdom to bring in Gary Cadenhead as the program director. And in the last 9 years, we've seen the program become what it is today, largely because of Gary. Gary's going to be retiring from this part of his life, but he's moving to some other parts that he's shared a little bit about, and you won't be surprised to find out that they involve reside here in the heart of Texas. We want to thank Gary for his contributions to the program for the last 9 years. Those of you in the class were recruited by Gary. You know of his passion and devotion to the program. As I'm fond of saying, when Gary talks about MSTC, he bleeds from the eyes. We want to thank him for all the bleeding he's been doing for the last 9 years. We want to thank him for what he has done for the program. We're going to give him a little trophy that is inscribed as follows: MSTC Service Award presented to Gary Cadenhead. Thank you for your unwavering support, meticulous leadership, and for sharing your talent and limitless passion for 9 years. Gary, you want to come up here? This is a beast.
All right. It's a pleasure to graduate with you. It's been an honor to be in this capacity for the past 9 years. I will be following you, and as Jim said, I will continue to be involved in entrepreneurial and new venture activities, and I'm hopeful our paths will cross as we do that. Okay, we have a tradition as to how we conclude this, and that's by singing The Eyes of Texas. And we're asking those of you who were undergraduates here to come up and lead us in the singing. Get up here, eh?
Oh, I'm not. I'll spare you.
We going? The eyes of Texas are upon you all the livelong day. The eyes of Texas are upon you. You cannot get away. Do not think you can escape them. At night or early in the morn. The eyes of Texas are upon you till gay.